The back office of the CitizenLab platform aims to be user-friendly for the managers of the platform and to allow organizations to divide engagement tasks between different teams and manage user capabilities easily as well. During this video, I'm going to quickly walk you through some of the main characteristics of the back office. This is essentially what the view of the back office would be like, with a menu on your left-hand side from where you would manage the different aspects of the platform. The most important tab would be the projects tab, from where you basically create projects, project folders, and you manage all of those. Let's see what it looks like to manage a specific project. If I just take you to this ideation project, for each project you would get this kind of dashboard, let's say, with a few different tabs from where you would manage the different aspects of that specific project. So you have a first general sort of tab where you would select the main settings of the project, decide whether a project is published, for example, still in draft, give it a name, give it a slug, maybe give it a few sort of attachments and images as well. From there, you would go to timeline, and this is the same for each one of your projects. If they have a timeline, of course, and this is where you would design the different phases of your timeline of the project. So you would add phases and you would edit the different phases you have there. So if we just click on one to give you an idea of what that looks like, you just basically give it a name, and then with a click of a button, you decide which participation method you want to use for the phase of that project, just by the click of a button. From there, you decide, again, with a click of a button, which actions are enabled. So do you want to, in this case it's all about ideation, so do you want to enable your users to post ideas, to comment on ideas, to vote on ideas, or all of those combined? That's really up to you to decide, and you can change those settings very easily just by clicking buttons. Finally, you give the phase a few dates, sort of timeline of its own, and then you give a sort of phase description where you add information about what users are required to do during that specific phase. It's also possible, of course, to add any kind of attachments and multimedia that might describe the phase a little bit better for the users. Another important aspect of your project management is to manage the input from your users. So if we're talking about ideas, you would see the different ideas pop up here, and you can manage them from here. You can sort them by phases of a project, by status, by topics. Because you're a healthcare organization, you would be able to sort of modify and personalize all of those topics so that you have various topics that are just, relevant to you. So it might be mental health, obesity, maybe really up to you to kind of decide how you want to categorize different ideas. Then you could basically just click on the idea, and from there you can see what exactly the person has posted, how people have commented, change the status, assign it to a member of your team to manage that idea, and so on. And then finally, access rights, which is the last important bit of each project, is basically about who can see a project and who can manage it. So either you can select a project to be sort of available to everyone to see and to participate in, or it can be to given user group. So if you want to reach out to just a specific user group, you basically restrict that project to that group. And then in terms of participation, you can do things differently for each specific phase of your project. So different people can participate in different phases. So that's pretty much how you would manage a project. From there, let me just take you to settings, which is where you are going to decide what kind of demographic data you want to collect from your users. You would simply go to registration field and add any fields that you think are interesting for your own research and analysis. Why is that important? For two reasons. First, because it will enable you to create user groups. So this is why you would do it. You would just go to users and click on the plus sign. Either you'd create a manual group if you already know who should be added to that. So for instance, you're already engaging with a group of people in your local area. You want to invite them to the platform, that's possible. And then a smart group is based on those registration fields. So the questions that you ask when a person signs up to the platform. For instance, are they between 15 and 25 years old? What is their gender? Where exactly do they live? Do they have a specific type of condition that you want to engage on? That's really up to you to decide, and anyone who meets that criteria would be automatically added to the group. The other reason why you want to collect demographic data is because you get access to dashboards. So this back office just shows you the very basic data analysis features. So one of them being all of the analysis around the usage of your platform, which is a set of dashboards such as this one, shows you how people are connecting with the platform. And then another one is about the demographic analysis. So you can see how old people are that are using your platform, where are they based, what is their gender, what is their role. You also get a nice overview of active users on the platform. We do have a few other things that you can do from the back office, but they are going to be more sort of advanced in terms of the analysis. So we work with natural language processing, for instance, where we cluster different ideas, and soon we'll have an end-to-end flow available on the platform for text analysis, which is going to show you in much more detail what are the topics that people are talking about, what do they really care about, and so on. So really, these are the sort of main highlights of the back office. There is a lot more that you'll get to know as you use the platform, but these are the basic features that you need to understand to set up a project, to manage it, and to connect with your audiences. From there, we can also look at setting up workshops and creating emails and so on, but I'll leave that for the implementation period in January. Hope this helps.